lovely friends, it's Margaret, and this is a reading vlog. Once again, starting in the shirt that we ended the last vlog in, because why not batch film? I am. Anyways, so I didn't talk about these in the last vlog, even though technically I started them during the last vlog, but I only got like 2 pages into them. So I am reading one book for my owls and reading one book for something else that we will discuss later in another vlog, but I'm still reading it, so I want to at least mention it because it is my audiobook and it is huge. So I started Leviathan Wakes on my, what is the word? What's that word again? My walk. I started this on the walk because I needed an audiobook while I was to listen to while I was on my walk yesterday. So I started this. I'm enjoying it. I'm appreciating, like, so I looked at this. I saw this. I mean, it's only 500 pages, but still, like, you see this and you think, this is going to be a chore. And it's not. It has not been a chore. Like, it's not one of those that demands your 100% full attention to understand the plot. It's just reading like you're reading a normal book, and I really appreciate that. I think I might actually be able to go through this entire series because he writes in such a, not accessible way, but like he writes in such an easy way, and he's so good at building the characters. I think we've met like 3 or 4 of them at this point. Some of them are the main characters. If you don't know, Leviathan Wakes is the first book in the Expanse series, which is based on the TV show. I've started watching the TV show, so I already kind of have an idea of what's going to happen here. But I'm enjoying the TV show, so I want to read the book. And the book is so much richer, obviously, because it is the book. You can do things with books because you don't have to pay actors. Then last night, for my bedtime reading, because your girl likes to read a book to unwind, I started reading Why I Am No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Renee Lodge. So her name is covered up by the stickers, and so you have to kind of figure out what it is. Anyways, so this is based off of a blog post that she wrote in 2014 about why she's just tired of having to explain what racism looks like to white people, because white people very rarely believe her. And so I picked it up. I wanted to start reading it because she actually goes into, like, listen to these are the topics, is like, you know, chapter 1 is about the history, the system, what is white privilege, fear of a black planet, the feminist question, race and class, there's no justice, there's just us. So this is part of another project that I am working on, but it also is a read for my owls for whichever prompt is read a book with a white cover. If you haven't been on my channel for very long, you know that I like to research and explore these topics because I want to understand them better. I want to know more about, like, what is it like to live in Western society and be a person of color. She is black, so this is from the black perspective, but having picked this up, she actually seems to go into, like, just in the first, I think I'm only on page, like, technically I'm on page 9, but there's the foreword, which is her blog post and all of that, or the preface, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, but she is doing a really good job of, like, this is about the history, the first chapter is about the history of slavery, but it seems like she's going to be going into a lot of, like, it's not just about the African experience and transatlantic slave trade, and all of that. It's going to go into more, it's going to include other people of color, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm looking forward to reading this, especially because she is British and not American. And so I know that there are similarities, but there are also differences in how racism is perceived in America, or not how it's perceived, how it functions in the United States and how it functions in Great Britain, because the histories of those 2 countries are different, and they have a different, what is the word, intersection with those topics. I don't know how much of this I will actually get read today because I'm on a TV show watching binge thing and have less self-control than I would like. But I'm trying to actually get books read. And so what's going to happen is I need to, it's Thursday, I haven't done my weekly spread in my bullet journal, and that was a poor choice on my part because I've gotten nothing done well, I've gotten some stuff done. I'm not going to say nothing. I've gotten some things done this week. I'm going to sit down with the audiobook. I'm going to listen to it while I work on getting my weekly spread done, and we will see where we go from there today. I will let you know if anything exciting happens. I should get breakfast first. Yeah. Hello! I'm not entirely sure when I last updated you. I think the last update I did was on the 16th or the 17th or whenever I started this vlog. And I talked about the books I've been reading. Anyways, it is the 19th now. I have, in fact, done a lot more reading than I expected this week because our Kenshi Kush is stressing me out. Anyways, so we've read some books. I'm not done with any of them, but I am here on Leviathan Wakes, and since I'm doing this for another video, I'm not going to talk too much about this one. I'm just going to say that I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and I'm really enjoying it. I've been wanting to pick it up more and more, and it's really fun because it's making me want to go back and rewatch the series. So, anyways, and then I am working on Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. I'm a little past the 1/3 mark on this one. Do we see? There we go. I've been reading this, like, since this is my physical book, I'm going slower in it, obviously, and the other one is my audiobook, but it's very good. She is really, like, she sits down and she brings the facts. Like, she sits down, the first one was about history of racism in Britain. The second one is about the systemic racism that happens in Britain, and she just sits down and she breaks them down and says, here are examples. This is what has historically happened. Here are examples of how black people are disadvantaged in the workplace. Like, she's not being mean about it. She's being very polite and polished. She's doing a very good job of just, like, laying out her case and being like, here, this is what you need to know, this is what it means. And I really appreciate that. I like it when people are like, here are XYZ examples of evidence, and this is the conclusion, rather than just being like, here is the conclusion, because I'm like, yes, but can you tell me the evidence, because the evidence is how I prove that conclusion. So, like, I believe the conclusion, but there are people around me that I need to be like, here are all XYZ of the evidence, and that's how we get here. It's very good. I'm enjoying it. Not enjoying it. I'm being educated by it. It is not an easy read. I would assume that it's like 10 times harder if you have actually experienced this stuff, but just knowing that there are people out there that don't question the biases that they have and don't question the system, and I'm saying that as someone who didn't used to, who didn't think she had any biases or any issues with the system. Just knowing that there are people like I used to be out there, and that there are people worse than I used to be out there, that, like, they're not racist, but when you sit down and you look at it, you're like, actually you are. You just don't know it. All that to say, good book. Check it out. You should read it. Okay, so it is Sunday, and I need to go sit down and do some beta reading. I put a video up today. Technically, it's not the video that was supposed to go up today, but it's a video that's been sitting on my computer, and I was going to put it up Wednesday, and I was like, you know what? We're getting a late start today. We're going to put Wednesday's video up today, and then we'll put today's video up on Wednesday, which means I can procrastinate this video even further. Woo! Anyways, I need to go and finish the beta project that I am working on and see if I've gotten part 2 of that yet. So I'm gonna go. Good morning. It is 6:50 on April 21st, Tuesday. This is probably the earliest you have ever seen me at a normal early time. There's a reason for that. I was supposed to be up at midnight and start this at midnight, but I took a nap, and the nap ended at 6:30. So, anyways, the reason we're up at 7 a.m., the reason we were trying to start this part of the vlog at midnight, and then failed. I think my alarm went off at 11:45. I'm not entirely sure, but the reason is Allie from Hardback Hoarder, and then Vanessa from Paper Fairy, and Amanda from Read All the Books are doing a low-key 24-hour readathon. So basically, it starts at any time you want it to today, Tuesday the 21st, and it ends 24? What am I, Scottish or Irish? One of the two. It's too early in the morning for me to remember which one that is. It starts it finishes 24 hours later on Wednesday. I am not staying up until 7 a.m. Wednesday, but I'm going to stay up as late as I can today, and the only thing on my docket today is to read, mostly. I'm probably still going to try and get my usual, maybe my daily quota of booktube editing in, because I have a video going up tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to try and stay up as late as I possibly can. I've got stuff that's going to help me do that, hopefully. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm trying to make this as quickly as possible. But first, I want to update y'all on where I am with reading. I just finished, and this is not for the owls at all, but I finished Leviathan Wakes last night by James S.A. Corey. Fantastic. It means that another long-form video is done. It's got 5 stars. I loved it. It was everything I want when I read science fiction. Okay, there could have been a little bit more romance, but like, it's science fiction. I kind of expected that. I'm not going to talk too much about this because I do talk about it a lot in another vlog. And that vlog will, in theory, be up before this one's up, so I'll link that in the card. Anyways, so, but speaking of the owls, so I'm going for librarian. I can't, it's too early in the morning for talking, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going for librarian, which means I need to do ancient reads, arithmancy, defense against the dark arts, history of magic, and transfiguration. So far, I have done defense against the dark arts and transfiguration. So here are I'm going for all 12, but here's what I finished. So far for this, I have finished, let's see, where's Binti is potions. Okay, so far I have finished the Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, which is counting for Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is to read a book that is near the coast. This is in the San Francisco Bay Area, right next to the Pacific Ocean, so it counts. The next book that I finished, or the next book that I read that counts for an owl's prompt is Binti, which counts for Shrinking Potion and Potions, which is to read a book that is less than 150 pages. And then the final one that I have finished so far is Transfiguration, which is it's an animagus lecture, and that was to read a book with a shapeshifter. 2 prominent characters in this series are shapeshifters. Ta-da, we're good. So, I've got 2 of the 5 prompts that I need to do for sure, and 3 of the 12 that I need to do, and I have 9 days to finish 9 books. I don't think that's happening. However, we are using this opportunity. Hold on. I don't know why we had those books all the way across the room when I knew they were supposed to be right there. Anyways, so we're using this opportunity to knock out some other owls books and to finish some books that need to be finished. So 2 of these are for the owls and 2 of these are just books that need to be finished. One of them is A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine. I have been trying to read this for over a year. I started this in January again, because I lost my place and actually was like really into it, and then got distracted by it was Blackathon and then whatever I was doing in March. Oh, I wasn't reading in March. That's what happened. I would like to actually finish it and like do what I was supposed to do when I got the ARC. So I'm pretty sure I was sent this as I won a contest. So this is on the docket. According to Bookly, at the pace I am currently reading, oh gosh, this is going to be difficult to find, isn't it? According to Bookly, at the pace that I'm currently reading, I need 6.5 hours to finish this book. I am also using this to try and finish Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I started this for Austen Anonymous back in March. So I would like to finish it. It's my like gajillionth time rereading it. And I love it every time. But it's, according to Bookly, it'll take me almost 8 hours to finish this one. So that's on the docket. And then I have my 2 Owls books. The first one is Why I'm No Longer Talking About Race by Renee Edo-Lodge. This one is really good. I am really, like, it's very educational and it's making you think a lot. And that's what I like about this book, and that's what nonfiction is for. It's supposed to educate and make you think. And so anyways, I am 3 hours and 22 minutes out from finishing this one, so I'll definitely, hopefully have it finished today. And then the most important one, because I only have the audiobook for another, oh, speaking of, this counts for, hold on, this one would be counting for the Charms prompt, which is to read, Lumos Maxima, which is to read a book with a white cover, very white cover. Anyways, and then the most important one, because I only have an hour and 14, or probably an hour and 13 at this point, minutes left on the audiobook that I have borrowed from the library, is A Flame in the Mist by Renee Adier. So, this is part of the TBR that my best friends picked for me, so I'm gonna read it. And I'm finally getting started on all of those books. So I probably won't talk about it much in this vlog, because I'm going to talk about it more in that one, which I'm about to start. But what does this one count for? I don't remember. I just know it was it's in the list, or in the stack. Oh, this is one of the ones that doesn't count for any of them. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, so this doesn't count for any owls. Never mind. So I'm only reading one owl's book. Maybe we'll try and get another one in there. Wait a minute. If the hold is going... Okay, we're changing this up then. Since I don't have to have that one read by the end of April to do the owls, I'm actually switching to my arithmancy read, which is One for the Money by Janet Ivanovich. This is also on my Best Friends Choose My TBR. I have a few more days to read this one than I have to read that one. So I'm just gonna, like, request the audiobook for that again. Hurrah. And then I'm gonna return it because that's the smart thing to do. That made things so much simpler. Now, as to what was supposed to keep me up all night last night, or most of the night, I wasn't gonna try and stay. I'm not trying to stay up for the full 24 hours just because I'm not crazy, and that's not one of the prompts. It's a local readathon. We're doing it anyways. All of that to say, we're doing a tea taste test. So I am not a big tea person. I have found 3 that I like, and I would like to find more. I found that I prefer like the citrusy floral teas with no caffeine, apparently. And since we're trying to stay up as late as possible today, we're going to need caffeine. Also, I'm tired, so I'm going to take a little bit more, you know, that's how you wake up. Anyways, so we're doing a tea taste test. If you haven't seen the tweet, my usual morning setup for my tea is I do a wild orange tea and then I stick in a green tea for a couple of minutes because I want the caffeine and it's good for you, apparently healthy for you to drink green tea. However, when I need a little more caffeine, I'll do that same thing. Layer the floral tea that I like on top of the stronger tea, like more traditional tea taste, which I don't like as much. I'll layer those two, and I'll use a black tea for that. However, the black tea that I've been using, we're running out of, and so I need to find a new, like a replacement. So I'm doing a tea taste test of the Twinings, or Twinings, I don't know, of London Black Tea Variety Pack. They have English Breakfast, Earl Grey, Irish Breakfast, and Lady Grey in there. I'm going to be going from the one I think I'm least likely to like to the one I think I'm most likely to like. I actually think, despite what some people's strong opinions, I have a feeling that either Earl Grey or Lady Grey are going to be the ones that I end up liking. I'm thinking Lady Grey is the one that I'm going to end up liking because it's got the mildest flavor of the 4, and both of them have a citrus oil in them. So I have a feeling that I'm going to like that one best. I have a feeling the English Breakfast or the Irish Breakfast are going to be my least favorite because I feel like those are going to have the more traditional tea taste. Anyways, I'm going to be taste testing these throughout the day as I need tea and get tired. How that's going to work considering that I'm in Florida and it is hot? I haven't thought this through, but it's fine. Anyways, so I've started with the Irish Breakfast tea because I think that's the one that supposedly it is the heartiest, strongest flavor of the 4. So I'm assuming that's going to be the one that I like the least. And I've just prepared my tea my normal way. I did my wild orange tea with the Irish Breakfast together, steeping together, put in lemon, put in honey, and we will see. It's different. I don't hate it though, which is surprising. It is different. I can't taste the, obviously, wild orange as much as I usually can when I'm just doing the green tea because it's a very mild flavor. But it doesn't have that really strong tea taste that I dislike. So I don't hate it. I'm not sure if I like it though. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna drink my tea, I'm gonna read one of these books, probably why I'm no longer talking to white people about race, because I'm very close to finishing that one, so I might as well work on starting that. Oh, and I need to start my blog, so anyways. Does anyone remember which book I said I was going to start with, because I have forgotten. So we are almost 3 hours into this 24-hour, what is wrong with me today? 24-hour readathon, bleh. And so I am about to go down and cook myself some breakfast, but first, an update. I don't remember which book I said I was starting with today, but I started with this one because I sat on Twitter for an shower or something, and then on Instagram taking pictures for the photo challenges that were going on. I will post this picture of my TBR so you guys can see it. That's on my main Instagram account, which I rarely use, but hey, it's there, so I need to get better at it. Came home, stretched out, took a shower. Okay, so I like the narration on this. There's definitely some elements that are like, oh boy, this was written in 1994, and not just like social things, like not technology and stuff like that. Like, she doesn't even have a cell phone. And I was like, oh, this is definitely written before the 2000s. But there's just the main bad guy has some there's definitely some stereotyping going on there, and it's also like she's a bounty hunter. She's not a PI, she's a bounty hunter, and the main skip that she's going after is a cop who shot someone and skipped out on his bail. And just guessing by what I know, he's probably going to end up justified at the end of this book. Just, you know, guessing from plot perspective. However, knowing what I know about the rate of police brutality and profiling and all of that, I'm just like, ooh, this is not my favorite. I have a feeling this is not going to be one of my favorite books that I've read on this. However, I do like the narration, and I like Stephanie Plum as a character. I do like the fact that even though this was written in the 90s, there's a lot of, I mean, it was definitely the 90s. What do I want to say? How do I want to say this? Like, there's a lot of female positivity. Like, there's some kind of, like there's not girl hate going on. Like, she's describing people, especially the women, like, you'll see, and those will be people that typically would be looked down on, but she's just like, this is normal for my area. This is what people are like. And so I like that. I'll have to go down to eat breakfast, but I need to start on one of my physical reads, and so I put a poll on both Twitter and Instagram, and I said, should I read the book that I have the least left to read, or should I read the book that I have been reading the longest? My personal preference is this one, because I want it off of my currently reading. I do. But we'll see what the poll says, and whichever one of these ends up winning the poll, I will use in my picture. We'll see which one wins my poll, and so that'll be the one that ends up being the one I read and finish first, hopefully. But I'm gonna go listen to some more of One for the Money while I am making breakfast. No, I'm not backwards. I'm just drying my hair on the other side, so I have a little bit more volume. Anyways, it is update time. I am 129 pages into One for Your Money, which means I've read for, 1 hour and 59 minutes, which is apparently the amount of time that I was reading for yesterday. Makes sense. Or maybe slightly more, like a minute more, 3 minutes more. Okay, so the reason we're here is, number one, I have tea, so hold on. Now we can continue. All right, the reason we're here is because I do have tea, and I also have the results of the Instagram/Twitter poll that I did. So, oh boy. All right, so the Twitter poll, we had 3 votes for the longest book and 2 votes for the least left to finish, which not all that much difference, but it's fine. And then on Instagram, let's see if this has changed at all, but on Instagram, we have 3 votes for the least book and 2 votes for the longest, which keeps it tied. My God. So we've got 5 votes for each at this point. 5 votes. You know what? I'm going to try my tea, and we're going to see if that changes. So this time, we are trying the Wild Breakfast Tea. Same setup as last time. And let's see. Okay, this one has a stronger tea aftertaste. Like, drinking it is not terrible, but it does have a stronger tea aftertaste. So, like it a little less, but I also wouldn't not drink it. So there's that. That's a win in my book. Well, at least I can finish the rest of this package. You know what? I'm gonna go set up this photo, and then we'll figure it out. So we have a new tea, so it's time for an update. I'm not drinking it yet because it's still way too hot, but I figure by the time I finish talking to y'all, it'll be time to try it. We'll discuss all that in a minute. Anyways, so I have no bookmark. Where'd my bookmark go? It's fine. I know what page I was on. I was on 227. So far I have read for 5 hours and 43 minutes, so almost 6 hours, and I have read 315 pages so far today since I started this whole readathon thing. Helps if I look at the camera. And so anyways, I am this far 226 pages into One for the Money. I've only got this little bit left. It is, like, plot-wise, it's good. And I like the main character. I like who I think is the love interest. He's a little bit of a mess, but they're both kind of messy. The only thing that there were some blatantly racist things that were said. There was at least one place where I was like, oh, that is, like, that's not even, like, the author was being stupid, like, or the author could have been ignorant. That was, like, blatantly, like, oh, you have some actual racist attitudes. Also, the bad guy is such a stereotype. Such a stereotype. I don't know the specific, but basically it's like the sex-crazed Latino stereotype. I'm sure there is an actual, like, name for it. But that's what he is. We've mentioned the ghetto multiple times. And, like, why couldn't we have just called it low income? Because she calls other places in here low income. I'll let you guess at what the difference between the ghetto and low income is. Let you guess. You can definitely tell it was written in '94, and while I don't think that... While I understand there is some merit to not holding people to this, like, people of the past to the standards of today, this was only 20 years ago. 26 years ago. And people, like, we knew that some of the stuff that the author is writing about, we knew it was wrong then. People have been saying that a lot of what, like, her attitude and the way that the main character views people of color in places, people have been saying that that's been wrong for a long time. It's just, now it's in the national media and we have white people saying it, so people are paying more attention to it. Anyways, the other one, I am 226, am I really 226? I am 226 pages into both books. Technically I'm 227, but I am impressed that I am that close. I'm really enjoying this one. This one was one that I went into really iffy the first time I read it because I was concerned. I remember I read it right after I'd read the 5th season, and it felt like I was reading a knockoff of the 5th season. I only got like 2 chapters into it, though. I am wrong about that. But like my main thing was I believe it is based on the Aztec Empire. And the author is a historian. It says the Byzantine Empire, so maybe that's what I was thinking. But anyways, she's had some points that I have really liked that she's made about empire and colonialism and all of that mindset. So I like kind of the subtle dig that she is taking at it. I enjoy that. I think that's a good element to have in this plot. There's a lot of political intrigue, which I am enjoying. There's a lot of, like, kind of this mystery aspect going on, which I'm really enjoying. Like, I could care less about the characters, so it's probably going to end up being a 3-star book. Also, there's 0 romance as of right now, although I have suspicions. I do have suspicions, and if I confirm those suspicions, I'll let you know on Twitter, because I know there are people that are looking for books like this. I'm invested in finding out what's going on, what's happening, and I think, like, depending on how this book goes, I'm invested enough that I might want to pick up the next book. Like, maybe not own the next book, but definitely borrow it from the library. We'll see how I feel about it when it's at the end, but the world building is weird, but it's weird in a good way. Once you start to get to know the culture of this empire, it makes sense in that context. It's just weird that humans would go there, because these are human characters, or not, like, they're the descendants of humans, at least, and we found aliens. Not exciting me as much as Leviathan Wakes was, though. Leviathan Wakes was a book. It was a book. And I don't know what the author's views on things were, but I feel like the author did a good job with a lot of aspects that sci-fi sometimes ignores. So, anyways. Is this cool enough for me to drink yet? So this is the Earl Grey. Oh, I probably should update you on the poll, because I think I mentioned the poll. Let's see. What did people decide Oh crap, I can't get on there on my phone because I have Forest going. Hold on, let me pull up my computer because it's not blocked on my computer. I love how I say I'm blocking Twitter for a couple of hours and everyone decides that they're going to reply to my tweets right then. Nope, not there. Aha. Okay, so I asked which tea y'all thought would be my favorite of the 4 teas that I am just trying today. 46.2% of y'all said English breakfast, which so far has been my least favorite. 15.4% said Earl Grey, 15.4% said Irish breakfast, and 23.1% said Lady Grey. So I have a feeling, like, I just feel like the 23.1% are going to be the ones that are right, but the 46.2% are definitely y'all are wrong. Granted, that's only 13 votes, and I know people who have very strong opinions on Earl Grey, meaning they don't like it. So we'll see if we're still friends after I take a sip of this tea. I don't really, like, it's not my normal tea, but I don't taste it as much. It's not bad. I'm not, like, singing from the rooftops because it's delicious, but it's not bad. Alright, so far, I'm sorry, Emma. Of the 3, it's the one I like the most so far. And by like the most, I mean notice the least. Does that make sense? Alright, y'all, I don't have much of an update for you. I'm on page 281, which means that out of, hold on, 448 pages. Oh, okay, so 200 would be 41. 267 pages, I think, is the math, how that works out. Don't check me, it's midnight. But I'm here because I have my last thing of tea, and I couldn't not taste test this one for you. This is the Lady Grey, which is the guess that will be my favorite. So, we'll see. Set up like all of the other teas. Will I regret this? Possibly, because it's midnight, and I'm drinking caffeine. But I did almost just fall asleep like a little bit ago, so there's that too. Oh yeah. This is definitely the least noticeable. And also I believe it has orange and lemon peel in it, which is very similar to my other tea that I like, so it might be a good substitute for that one. Yeah, I definitely like this one the best. The real test would be to try them without the other tea that I like in here, but I'm weak and I don't like tea. And I can't put cream in it to make it less tea tasting. This is why I also don't drink coffee, because I can't put cream with it to make it taste less than coffee, less like coffee. And I hate the taste of coffee. It's so bitter. Alright, so I'm going to sit here with my tea and my book. I'm going to drink this. I just did some push-ups and stuff to get my heart racing again, so that maybe I will be able to, oh boy, finish this book. Let's see, how many hours does it say I need to read before I'm done with this? It quickly says I have 4 more hours worth of reading. I don't think I'm going to make it that far. I think I might make it till like 2 o'clock. And then maybe I'll wake up in the morning and I'll finish it, because it didn't start till 9. But I'm not going to go without sleep tonight. This is not going to be a repeat of the last time we did a 24-hour readathon, because that's not a prompt, not a challenge for me to meet in this readathon, so we're good.
I meant to do this yesterday, but yesterday kind of got away with me between online things happening and my bed falling apart. It's back together now. It's fine. I'll insert a picture so you can see what happened, but this whole corner just went to the ground. We fixed it, though. I am here wrapping up this vlog now because I have books to talk about. We're going to talk about the ones that I finished and the ones that I am still in the middle of. So the first one you probably saw me finished is Leviathan Awakes. I enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars. It was really, like, this is one of the best sci-fi I've read in, I want to say a while, but, like, I can't remember what sci-fi I've read, so far this year. Like, I can't remember the last sci-fi I read. Anyways, this is really good. It's funny because it says science fictional equivalent of A Song of Ice and Fire, and, like, I would say that that is wrong because A Song of Ice and Fire has a lot more unnecessary world building, at least from the book I've read. This was much more, what's the word? It's not plebeian, but basically this is much less, like, talking down to you. Don't get me wrong, I liked Game of Thrones, but this is much less talking down to you. Much more accessible, I feel, than Game of Thrones was. Anyways, and then the other book that I finished yesterday was One for the Money by Stephanie Plum. This is also in another vlog. It was 3 stars. You saw me mostly read this during the 24-hour readathon that I did, which I think is the last time you saw me in this vlog. You know, oh well. That's how things work sometimes. I didn't really get all that much reading done the last couple of days, but I did manage to finish this. I thought the story and the main relationship in this were pretty good. I was not very happy with the way race was used in this, though. Like, you can tell this is written in the 90s, because this is not aware at all of a lot of things. And so, yeah, there's that. And also, like, I would have less of an issue with this if it was, like, written in the 40s and 50s or whatever, but, like, this was written in 94. I've heard some of that gets better, so I might continue on with the rest of the series. I probably won't buy them. This is probably going in the unhaul pile, but that's part of what the project that this is part of is that's why it exists, because I'm trying to see which books do I want to keep and which ones are just, you know, they're okay books, they're gonna go. Another book you saw me working on, Why I Am No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Renee Edelage. I got it right this time. First try. Anyways, I am still a little bit less than halfway through here. I need to sit down and actually, like, sit down and read it. I just haven't sat down and read anything for a couple days. Like, if it wasn't an audiobook, I haven't been paying attention to it, because I am that kind of person. And then I also, on the 24-hour readathon, you saw me read a whole bunch of this guy. I am now that far from the end, do we see? Which is better than I have been. I read a little bit of this last night while I was trying to fall asleep. I didn't want to go for something that was going to make me frustrated with the world at large. So I felt like nonfiction probably was not the way to go when I was trying to relax and fall asleep. I read like 5 pages and it was like, I cannot. No, wait, 1, 2, 3. I read 4 pages. I read 4 pages and it was like, I can't stay up any longer now. But hopefully I'll be finishing this. This is not for the owls. So far for the owls, last vlog I finished Defense Against the Dark Arts, because I finished The Kiss Quotient, and I finished Transfiguration because I've read Magnus Chase. Both of those I need to get the degree that I want to get, or not the degree, but to be able to participate in the newts the way I want to participate in the newts. I also just finished One for the Money, which is for arithmancy, and that is to read a book that is outside of your favorite genre. This is obviously outside of my favorite genre. It's outside of my favorite age category too, but we're not going to get into age categories because I could go on about that for a while. Mostly it would be ranting. And then, let's see, have I finished anything else? Oh, and I've also finished Potions. I finished Potions last vlog too. So far I've finished 4 of 12. I got a quarter of the ones that I need to. We're gonna have to consider the coconut. I'm sorry, that was a weird Disney reference. I should stop that. Thank you for watching this vlog. It was probably messy and ridiculous, but I appreciate you guys for being here and listening to me and talking to me in the comments. Let me know if you read any of these books, what you thought of them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Also, over here, videos. You're on YouTube. Why not? Just go for the next one. Just go. Just do it. Click it. Click it now. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!